Welcome to the pregame coaches show with head football coach Benji Lewis. I am Mike Downhour. Coach, Friday night, the Ash Trojans coming in at the end of a 4-game brutal streak that you've had to be on. It's at your house tonight. Talk to us about Alexandria Senior High.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Coach Bachman has these guys playing at a high level. I think 3 years ago they were right there when the state championships were held in Natchitoches.
I remember that.
And a call and didn't get it, fell short. But I'm going to tell you what, ever since then, man, he has been at a high level and just churning out some great teams. And this is no different this year. They actually now, you mentioned we play in a tough district, and he's always taken a loss here or there. To this point he hadn't. To this point he had, and he's 8-0 rolling in. And with a great offense, a great running back, and an opportunistic defense that, has the I guess you would say the blessing of playing with the offense that scores a lot of points. So a very formidable opponent, a very formidable school and staff and head coach.
And one of the things you said at Catahoula's the other night was the best defense is a good offense.
Yeah.
When the defense doesn't have to go out on the field. That's
right.
So let's talk about what you've got there defensively first for the Trojans.
Absolutely. They employ a 3-4 defense. They're gonna, it may not look like that a lot of times because we do play with a tight end so much. So they're gonna have a guy walked up over him, but they're also gonna have guys head up on the center a lot and 4 techniques over our offensive tackles, right over the top of them, which is kind of a little bit different than what we've seen a ton of this year. Up front they have the guy, the nose that's going to be there mostly is 6'1", 277. That's Peyton Hobbs. He's a junior. Does a very, very good job being active there and playing off the back of blocks and doing things like that. In the back end, Jaden Lewis and Jay Frazier, their cornerbacks, have done a good job of taking away some of the deep threats. Look, this team played Ruston a week ago, and you have to always contend with Ahmad Hudson, the big 6,
that's right,
7 or 8 kid. And they did a pretty good job keeping them in check. So it's not just all offense. Defense has done some good things throughout the year, but they are opportunistic because they're not having to be on the field just a ton,
All right. Otherwise, other defensively, the players, anybody else to really look for? I know you mentioned that the running back ran 52. Well, that's offense, but he ran 52 times, and that just
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
When you
and
do
that runs
that,
eats the clock too.
When you do that, and then Ruston runs the ball a lot too. That game.
Yeah, it was over quickly.
That defense is definitely opportunistic then. So they do, and they employ. A lot of guys, they don't get tired up front because they do rotate a good bit up there. Like I mentioned the other night, Jay Spikes that played for us last year, and
Ouachita
a support role.
And got transferred.
Yeah, jobs changed for parents, and he's down there and in a support role, rotational role there, and does a good job. His size-wise, he may not be size like those other guys, but he's always been a very active and I guess you'd say tenacious guy for his size.
All right, tell me about J.T. Lindsey, the running back that's already committed to LSU, one of the fastest guys in the state, incredible track player, but he can run. Yeah,
and he, like I said, this has been a 3-year evolution of watching him. The first time I saw him at that time 2 years ago, Ash had another running back that when they came in, we beat them in a shootout at our place. And JT came in kind of a backup role, but I was impressed, it was like, what a change up.
Right.
This other back was agile, but a little more of a bruiser, and JT was that speed guy that's like, where did this come from?
Right.
Then last year he put everybody on notice, did get the LSU offer at the end of the season last year, but this year has just become the guy for them, the guy. And it's to the point it's really kind of changed the philosophy of how much you want to run the ball versus throw the ball for Coach Bachman.
Right. We're used to air Bachman, that big air attack and all the wide open 5 wide, and that's changed this year.
Absolutely,
with a running back like him.
He started doing this last year, playing with the tight end. And I don't think I mentioned the tight end last year, our last Wednesday night, the tight end H-back, and that's Tanner Talon. He's a senior. He does a really good job, and he did last year. He's a returning starter for him. Does a great job, not only in blocking, but he gives them that 4th option that he doesn't have because he doesn't have the 4 receivers. It's a great pass-catching tight end in Tanner Townsend and does an awesome awesome job in blocking.
Well, Coach, one of the things we do need to talk about is you're not entirely healthy. Your team is not 100%.
Yeah.
How do you take on a team of this caliber when you don't have everybody in the fight?
You grab on and hold on.
Okay.
No, you talk about that, man, and you talk to them about the mentality that, hey, I understand nobody wants anybody to get hurt, but this is football. This is athletics. This is what happens, and everybody contends with it. With us, there's never – you wouldn't rather an injury this way or another way, but we knew about, like, Ray Jones. We knew C.J. Williams. Garrison Young going down in the game, that really threw us for a tailspin because we're already piecing guys together, and then you got to throw one more in.
Right.
And, I think that the young man we had to put in Corbin Miles, he's a 10th grader.